going to start to work with pyramids. And so we're going to start to work with rectangular pyramids and square pyramids. You're going to need your formula sheet handy, so make sure that you have that with you. So first, a quick reminder, what is surface area? So surface area is going to be the sum of the area of all of the faces. So we're going to be adding up all of the faces. This is what a rectangular or square prism looks like when it's put all together. You're going to see that it's going to have a square or a rectangular base. And then all of the sides are going to be triangles that come together at a vertex. And then here is a net of that pyramid. So here's your formula sheet. Now, I know that this is pretty loaded with information, so feel free to pause the video if you need to. So when we have a pyramid, we have a lot of information going on. So first off, we have the base here, which is going to be a square or a rectangle, and then we have all of these triangles around the side, okay? I wouldn't really worry so much about this lateral face, so don't worry about labeling that. We have the vertex at the top, which we just talked about. Now this slant height here is very, very important, okay? So all along we've talked about not using the height that's slanted on a shape because height is not slanted, right? Well, now I need you to use something called the slant height. And the reason why, and I'm going to back up just a minute, is because we're finding the surface area of this shape. We are not figuring out the volume. So I'm not asking you to fill up this shape and see how much can fit inside. I'm asking you to find how much can fit on the surface. And so what I'm actually asking you to do is to find the area of this piece right here, 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 and of this piece right here, and then to add them all together. And when you take all of these things and you fold them back up, your height of your triangle is going to be, well, it's going to look slanted, okay? It's not going to be straight down the middle because I folded it back together, okay? So that's what we call the slant height. Now, the formula for your rectangular pyramid for surface area is going to be the area of the base plus the faces. So let's go ahead and take a look at what that's going to look like here in an example. So it's a little small. So the surface area formula, it's going to be area of faces plus base, because there's only one base, okay? I like to start with the base first because I think it's the easiest, but that's just me. So I always start with the rectangle or the square base. So what is the area of this base? So it's 12 by 8. So I'm going to do base times height. 12 times 8, which is 96 meters squared. Okay? Now, I need to find the area of this face right here, this triangle. So that's going to be base times height times 0.5. So 12 times 10 times 0.5. And so that's going to be 60 meters squared. And it doesn't matter which face you put it on here because at the end of the day, we're going to add them all together. Now I'm going to take this face right here. So this is 8 times 12 times 0.5 because that's another triangle. So 8 times 12 times 0.5, and that's going to give me 48 meters squared. Now, the other two sides that are facing away from me are a little bit more difficult to figure out. So think of a rectangle. If this is 12, what is this? That's also going to be 12, and that height is also going to be 10. So that's going to have the same dimensions. So that's also going to be 60 meters squared. Now, if this is 8, this right here is also going to be 8, and that height is also going to be 12. So that's also going to end up being 48 meters squared. okay? Like a rectangle, opposite sides. Now what we need to do is add all those up together. So 48 plus 60 plus 48 plus 60 plus 96, and we get 312 meters squared, and that is the surface area of that shape. So let's take a look at some slightly easier examples to start out with here. So the formula is the area of faces plus the base. And I like to start off with the base. So the base here is a square, and I know that because it's 7 by 7. So 7 times 7, that's going to be 49 centimeters squared. Now I need to work with one of my triangles that make up my pyramid. So my triangle formula is base times height times 0.5. So I have my base of 7 and my height of 9. So 7 times 9 times 0.5. That's going to be 31.5 centimeters squared. Now if this is 7, this is also 7. If this is 7, this is also 7. And so that slant height of 9 is going to be all the way around as well. So all of these faces are going to be the exact same thing. Now, that is only going to be the case when you have a square on the bottom. In our last example that we did on our formula sheet, that was not the case because there was a rectangle on the bottom. So now I'm going to add them up. 31.5 plus 31.5 plus 31.5 plus 31.5 plus 49. And that's going to give me 175 centimeters squared. All right, so here we have a net. So my formula is the area of the faces plus the base. So I'm going to start with the base first. So it says that the base is 6 by 6, which tells me it's a square. So 6 times 6 is 36 centimeters squared. Okay? Now, my slant height going up is 12 centimeters, which means it's also going to be 12 centimeters here. It's also going to be 12 centimeters here. And it's also going to be 12 centimeters here. So I need to calculate each one of my triangles here. So base times height times 0.5. So 6 times 12 times 0.5. That's also going to be 36 centimeters squared. Now because it's a square, they all have the same dimensions. So they're all going to be the same thing. Now, I'm going to add up 36 plus 36 plus 36 plus 36 plus 36, and I'm going to get 180 centimeters squared. All right, example number 3. So my formula is area of faces plus base. So I'm going to start with my base first. And it appears that I have a square again. So 16 times 16 is my base. That's going to be 256 feet squared. Now I need to work with my triangles on the side. So I have a base of 16 and a height of 12 times 0.5. So 16 times 12 times 0.5. That's going to be 96 feet squared. Now, because this is 16, that's going to be 16. Because this is 16, that's going to be 16. And the height is going to be 12 all around. These are all going to be the same. But remember, that only works if it's a square. So let's add it up. 96 plus 96 plus 96. So So 4 times there plus 256. That's going to be 640 feet squared. Alright, now I know that this says you try, and if you want to try it on your own, you can go ahead and mute me, but I'm going to go ahead and talk through it. So the formula is area of faces plus base. I'm going to start with the base. It is a square again, so 25 times 25 is 625 feet squared. Now I'm going to go ahead and work on my face here. So I have a base of 25 and a height of 32 times 0.5. So 25 times 32 times 0.5. That's going to be 400 feet squared. And the reason why I'm repeating this on all of them is because it is a square and they all have the same base and they all have the same height. So I'm going to add them up, and I get 2,225 feet squared. Alright, next one. So my formula here is area of faces plus base. I'm going to start with my base first. So again, I have a square, so 3 times 3, that's going to be 9 inches squared. My height here is 4.5. So for my face, I have a base of 3 and a height of 4.5. So 3 times 4.5 times 0.5. That's going to give me 6.75 inches squared. And that's going to repeat for all of them. Because they all have a base of 3 and they all have the same height. I'm going to go ahead and add them up. And I get a surface area of 36 inches squared. Alright, last one. So my surface area formula is area of faces plus bases. So I'm going to start with my base. Now this time I do not have a square. I have a rectangle. So I have 6 times 8, base times height, 8 times 6, so that's going to be 48 centimeters squared. So I'm going to work with this triangle first. So if this is 8, then this also must be 8. So base times height times 0.5. So 8 times 14 times 0.5. That's going to be 56 centimeters squared. Now this guy is going to be an exact copy of this side right here. So I can put down 56 centimeters squared twice. Now let's work on this one right here. If this is 6, this is also 6. So base times height times 0.5. 6 times 12 times 0.5. That's going to be 36 centimeters squared. And this guy on the other side is also going to have a height of 12. So he's going to be a mirror image of that one too. Now all that's left is we need to add them up. 36 plus 36 plus 56 plus 56 plus 48. And that's going to give us 232 centimeters squared. Alright, that is the end of this lesson. We will do a lot more practice in class.